to another episode of What Matters Matters, where we give you guys the latest international trending gist, where we give you guys all the odds and the hottest of the hottest gossips. If you are new here, I'm welcoming you guys to our channel, and I hope you continue coming here and stick with us. You have to stick with us. Come here and stick with us. And if you've been here before, I see you guys and I love you guys. Thank you so much for always sticking beside us. And today we are going to be going straight to the topic. Let's watch the video.
I'm so sick of people saying that white people cannot be victims of racism. So I've made this video to explain exactly why white people can be victims of racism. Now, if you listen very carefully, you can probably hear that I'm actually from South Africa. So we have a long history in South Africa of racism. But people sometimes think that white people in South Africa was not victims of racism. But let me explain exactly how we were, in fact, victims of racism. You see, when you think that your value as a human being comes from your skin color, you stop trying to be a good person in other ways. So during apartheid, we were told as white people that we were better than black people. And some people, they start to think that that means that you are automatically better. It doesn't matter what you do. So we had white people in South Africa who were raping people. We had policemen who were taking people off the street and torturing them and doing the worst things you can imagine. And they walk around thinking, oh, what? I must be okay. I must be good because my skin makes me good. You see, if you are a racist, you are a victim of racism because you stop growing as a person. You stop seeing other people as fully human. And you look at the black man and you think, I'm better than him because of my skin. But what actually happens is the black man that you abuse and oppress, he grows and he learns and he becomes a better person because he has you as an example of what a terrible person is. And then we get someone like Nelson Mandela and he comes out of prison after 27 years and he's better than any white man in the country because he's learning the whole time. And the white racist sits there and thinks, I don't have to learn because I'm white. I'm automatically good. And you become the biggest victim of racism. You become a fucking idiot. So all my white brothers and sisters, man, we've got to get rid of this racism. We are not growing as people. We are not becoming the people we should be because we think that our value comes from our skin color and not from the way that we treat other people. Do not be a victim of racism. Do not be a racist.
This video is basically just explaining how this man is saying that, do we think people are racist against black people alone? No. There are some people that are racist against the white people too. According to him, he said, people just think that it is only the black that go through the racism thing, but the whites also go through the racism issue too. The whites also are victims of racists, not just the black, because of how everything is now, and then how people see that it is just the black that go through this racism issue. But we don't know that the white people also go through racism too. If we watch the video, we will see where he cited an example about the South Africans and the issue behind it. Let's watch that part of the video where he was discussing about the South Africans and the racism issue there.
And some people, they start to think that that means that you are automatically better. It doesn't matter what you do. So we had white people in South Africa who were raping people. We had policemen who were taking people off the street and torturing them and doing the worst things you can imagine. And they walk around thinking, oh, what? I must be okay. I must be good because my skin makes me good. You see, if you are a racist, you are a victim of racism because you stop growing as a person. You stop seeing other people as fully human. And you look at the black man and you think, I'm better than him because of my skin. But what actually happens is the black man that you abuse and oppress, he grows and he learns and he becomes a better person because he has you as an example of what a terrible person is.
As we have seen that, we understand that the racism is not just against the black people, it is also against the white people. And I want to tell you guys that, you guys, as you know, there is nobody that should be in support of racism, whether black or white. Nobody should be in support of racism. This channel also is not in support of racism, whether it is of racist against the black or racist against the white. Racism is not allowed. Racism is not something good. So he's explaining to us that now it has come to like everybody thinking that it's just the black that go through the racism issue, but the whites also go through racism, and that there should not be any form of racism at all, both concerning the white and concerning the black, because we don't know how hurtful it might be. In this video you guys are about to watch next, you would see even when the lady was explaining, she was crying because of how she was treated because of her color. Let's watch the next video and see how emotional she got while explaining how she was treated because of her color.
I wasn't and will never feel welcomed in the Philippines. For those that do not know, I'm half Nigerian and Filipino. I grew up being physically and verbally bullied in the Philippines for being black and having shaved hair. We moved to Australia when I was about 8 and decided to visit the family every December to do feedings and donations to the neighborhood. And every year I would experience the same racism and bigotry. I have not been in the Philippines for about 3 years, so I decided to go alone for 3 months thinking that I would be treated differently. Boy, was I wrong. It was only about a week into my vacation and my cat died, sadly. I was in fucking pain and the best way to get rid of it is by buying snacks. Long story short, drivers saw me, stared at me, loudly called me the N-word, and laughed whilst pointing at me. Ever since that day, there hasn't been a moment where I don't hear people whispering the N-word every time I go out. Filipinos tend to worship Eurocentric features and those who are mixed with some type of white. But when it comes to anyone that is a shade darker than the expected standards, they are suddenly stigmatized. My TikTok For You page, a place where I feel happy to scroll through, has been filled with many whitening ads, people who are being bullied in the comments for being dark, and multiple people thirst trapping using whitening filters. I also went to the mall and I was offered whitening products in the same hour, and a woman tugged on my braids. When will this stop? It has been so hard for me to leave the house because now I know that everyone thinks I'm different. Fuck. And when I do leave, I feel a crazy amount of anxiety. My skin itches because I feel everyone's eyes on my skin. We need to wash out racism in this generation, but I won't even be alive to experience the appreciation of my biracial identity. There are no real advocates for black Asians and it's disgusting. I bought a whole vlogging camera so that I could document our experience, but I don't even know how I feel about coming back after this experience.
Okay, this lady explained how she said she's half Nigerian and half Filipino, how when she was always going there, she's always having terrible moments going there because of her color, because of people abusing her because she's black, and then she stopped going there. For 3 years she did not visit there, so she decided to go there 3 months ago, and still it was the same thing, to the extent that somebody even gave her a whitening cream because of her color. She said some drivers even saw her, stared at her badly, and even called her the N-word because of how she is and because of her color. She knows that this thing has been happening before, so she decided to stay off the Philippines for 3 years, and then she thought maybe things would have gotten better. She visited there 3 months ago and it was still the same. They offered her a whitening cream because of her color, and she really felt emotional in the video, saying that people really need to wash away racism from this generation, because it's actually causing a lot. Like, as you guys have seen in the video, you saw how teary she was, how she even got emotional because of how she felt. Like, this thing causes trauma or emotional issues to people, whether you are black or white and you are treated differently. It causes emotional trauma to people and like make them feel somehow or segregated, like it was shown in the video that we just watched. So we really need to wash, according to her, we really need to wash away racism in our generation to avoid this kind of issues. This takes us to the next video where some white people were making mockery of black people. Let's watch the video to understand more.
You guys are not going to get into a college. You guys are not going to get any scholarships because this is a hate crime.
We all dropped out of high school. It's okay.
I still don't think it's appropriate for you guys to be doing this. It's really it's really not fun.
Yo, I just want to know, what are y'all teaching y'all kids? Because these kids right there, if they would have came to Harlem with that, they would have got hurt. They would have got hurt real bad. So what are y'all teaching y'all kids? Because at the end of the day, racism is taught. You're not born racist. That was taught to them.
As we watch the video, do we think it is right for those two white people to paint their skin black, imitating the black or making mockery of the black? What do we think of those two people painting their body black as we have watched in the video? Let's drop it in the comment section and let's watch the next video.
Breaking news. There's this resurfaced video of Tom McDonald destroying a racist, and it's causing a lot of controversy. Check this out.
I have a question for all the good white people today.
Oh my God, she wants to talk to us. She'd like to talk to us? This is amazing.
What's your deal?
Oh, okay, well, you don't be racist. I won't be racist. Deal. Okay, yeah. Deal. Yeah.
We won't be racist. So my question is, for the good white people.
The good white people? You mean like the ones that beat the Nazis, the ones that freed the slaves? Are we even allowed to separate black people into the good ones and the bad ones? Could you imagine if we...
There's so many good white people.
What is this? Why does she keep doing this? What is that?
Well, bunny rabbit? What are y'all doing exactly? Literally taking us back in time?
What do you mean back in time? You're standing in front of a pool, you got a fence in your yard, you got beautiful hair, like, you seem like you're doing pretty well.
What are y'all doing?
Like us? Specifically us? White people or just me and Tom?
It just baffles me that TikTok and other social media platforms are supposed to be standing up against racism, and yet that girl has a huge following and is allowed to be on social media and push, racist ideologies. Like, imagine if anyone else made a video saying the good whatever people. You can see the hate in her eyes. You can just feel the hate in her heart for people just based upon their skin color, and it's disgusting. And she keeps doing this, acting like there's no good white people whatsoever. It's almost like her rhetoric is sounding kind of like 1945, if you get what I'm saying. When a certain group of people said that another certain group of people were rats and none of them were good. I'm getting those kinds of vibes. So, if social media is really going to take a stand against racism, that means we have to take a stand against all types of racism. So I'm glad that Tom McDonald and Adam called this girl out because, she just sounds evil, to be quite honest with you. But let me know your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like this video, share it everywhere, hit that follow button. Until next time, love, peace, and taco grease. Let's stop the racism and let's all just come together, because at the end of the day, we're all one race, the human race. Peace.
So this video that we've watched just explained how a woman was saying she puts a quote on some good white people, and the white men were saying, why is she putting emphasis on the good white people? So does she mean they are bad white people? And this made them understand that maybe she is racist against whites. Like we watched in the first video where the man was explaining that racism don't only happen to the black people, it also happens to the white people. This is a video that is explaining how the black woman categorizing some white people as good and some as bad. So what do you guys think was the meaning of this video, or what do you guys understand from this video between the two white men and the black woman? Drop it in the comment section. Let's see and let's share together. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and join me on the next episode. Also, do not forget that this page does not support violence or support any form of racism, whether white or black. Thank you.